Hi, my name is Kyle Harvey, and this is my video presentation for Western Piedmont's paralegal program. For some time now, the issue of mandatory paralegal certification has been debated, and I'm going to answer a few questions about that today. What is the purpose of paralegal certification? The purpose of North Carolina State Bar's plan for certification of paralegals is to assist in the delivery of legal services to the public by identifying individuals who are qualified by education and training and have demonstrated knowledge, skill, and proficiency to perform substantive legal work under the direction and supervision of a licensed attorney. It is to improve the competency of those individuals by establishing mandatory continuing legal education and other requirements of certification. What should the purposes of paralegal certification be? The purpose of the certification is quite simple. It should have the same meaning and respect as other licensures, degrees, and certifications. Should have the same upholding, same respect. Because the certification is a result of intense study, dedication, and sacrifice, just like many other degrees. Mandatory certification as a paralegal separates you from those trying to be paralegals that have not been certified, and I think it makes you more prepared to do the work that you're looking to do as a paralegal. What are the benefits and disadvantages of mandatory certification? Over the last few decades, the profession has seen a great growth, and this growth will be sustained as long as there continue to be plenty of opportunities to apply our paralegal skills in a variety of ways. A mandatory certification is more precisely a licensing scheme. This defines for the employers who they can and cannot hire for a job. It increases the cost of hiring a paralegal, and it puts government-imposed limits on the work paralegals are able to do. It is very possible that much of what we can do now would be limited. I don't see a lot of positive benefits in government regulation of paralegals. For me, the key is working in an environment that provides ultimate supervision by a licensed attorney, and if that is achieved, we'll find paralegals working in many different positions, both traditional and non-traditional. Those who want to go the extra step in order to show commitment to the profession and stand out from the crowd will continue to see NALA's, N-A-L-A, voluntary certification as the best means to accomplish these goals. In your opinion, should certification be mandatory? At the present time, it's voluntary because it only applies to paralegals who wish to use their certification as a title, such as North Carolina Certified Paralegal or State Bar Certified Paralegal, whatever some people might like to use. But a paralegal can choose not to participate and still perform substantive legal work under the supervision of an attorney in the position of a paralegal or legal assistant. I do believe that the certification should be mandatory. What other profession could you enter into and not have requirements or credentials? Can just anyone call themselves a realtor or a plumber or a teacher without any kind of credentials or formal training? The answer is no. What would a profession that is so critical to the lives and well-being of the citizens and society that we're around not require formal credentials of some kind? If the paralegal profession truly wants to be seen as professional, then some measuring stick or benchmarks need to be set in place and set in stone that people aspiring to be paralegals have to meet and verify that they've completed. What forms of certification are currently available? Right now, the most common is just the paralegal certificate programs. Many paralegal certificate programs require an associate's or bachelor's degree as a prerequisite. Others require a general education component that, together with the required paralegal courses, approaches the equivalent of an associate's degree. People who change their careers and have completed a degree in another field of study and now wish to become a paralegal often find certificate programs most appropriate for their needs and their situation. Certificates are offered by colleges, universities, and proprietary schools. Some award continuing education units and/or college-level academic credits, and others are strictly self-contained programs without any credit transferability. There are also associate's degree programs where many paralegal programs award an Associates of Arts degree with their paralegal certificate or an Associate of Applied Sciences degree in paralegal studies upon successful completion of their paralegal certification program. These programs usually consist of 60 to 64 semester hours, and approximately half of these academic credits are general education requirements. The remaining 33 hours consist of paralegal coursework, and many programs also require a general computer course for paralegal students, including word processing, database analysis, and spreadsheet skills, which are very common things that are used in everyday work for paralegals. How effective are current forms of certification at promoting the paralegal profession? Throughout the 5 decades paralegals have been nationally recognized, the major organizations, including the ABA, have fought against and rejected any national regulations for education and training. Due to the differences of legal practices in the 50 United States, these organizations have pushed for states to mandate the educational requirements rather than the federal government. Currently, California is the only state throughout the U.S. that mandates paralegal certification. In the beginning, paralegals had no formal education or training at all, only knowledge and skills gained through former job experiences as legal secretaries. Now, required education is based upon the industry and the employer. Some industries, such as the federal government, require paralegals to have a formal education, certification, or lots of previous experience. Other employers, such as small law firms, may not require a degree, and the experience they're looking for can vary depending on the attorney. As of 1973, there were only 31 paralegal educational programs, most of which were affiliated with law schools. That number now has grown into the thousands when virtually none of these certification programs exist at law schools. The U.S. Department of Labor expects continued growth in this field despite stagnant outlooks in other professions. There has never been a better time to earn your paralegal certification. Are there other forms of regulation that you feel would be more effective? Perhaps if certification becomes mandatory, a national registry of certified paralegals would be beneficial to attorneys and paralegals alike, and that attorneys seeking to employ paralegals could readily verify someone who is qualified and looking for work, and conversely, a paralegal can locate employment if they're having trouble knowing people or just finding paralegal work in their area. Do you feel that regulation is necessary at all? Yes, as I've mentioned before, how can paralegals as a profession be considered legitimate or true professionals if there are no professional standards set in place? Without a gatekeeper of sorts, then the profession becomes like the Wild West, and anyone that wants to call themselves a paralegal or say that they've had the appropriate experience can get hired as a paralegal, even if they have very little education in the field or not as much experience as they might say. What is the current status of the certification debate in North Carolina? The plan, coded 27 NCAC 1G, is a self-funded voluntary certification program of the NC State Bar, the regulatory agency which is the regulatory agency for North Carolina lawyers. The plan provides incentives to North Carolina paralegals to meet a minimum level of education to become a North Carolina certified paralegal, and a minimum level of continuing education to maintain that certification. The plan does not restrict the use of the term paralegal, nor does it differentiate the services that can be provided by a certified and a non-certified paralegal. However, it does provide a much-needed benchmark to ensure paralegal competency and enhance the quality of legal services provided by North Carolina paralegals. The more paralegals that are being certified, is the more legitimate and stabilized I believe the field will become. And yeah, this is my presentation for Western Piedmont's paralegal program. Thank you.